Hello and welcome to Reclaiming Rest, Yin Yoga and Restorative Practices. I'm Kassondra Walters, your guide and yoga teacher for today. Thank you so much for joining me and your Adawe community for your yoga practice. We will start with a welcome. I'll introduce myself and then I'll invite you for a journaling intention to set an intention for your practice today. We'll then go into the yin asana, the physical practice, the restorative practice, and we have a playlist to accompany that, which you can find in the description of this video if you'd like to listen along. And we will finish with shavasana and a mini sound bath today for our practice. We'll then move into journaling, inviting you to sit with compassion for yourself and your business. And then we'll close. So welcome. I'm Kassondra Walters. I am a yoga teacher. I'm also a Reiki master. I'm an energy worker and I have a 200-hour yoga teacher training. I also have the CanFit Pro personal trainer certification that I gained in 2017. And so I am a movement specialist and I'm here today to share with you the practice of yin yoga, which is actually an advanced practice. You may have heard along the way, if yoga is newer to you or if you have not yet experienced a yin practice, that oftentimes yin is recommended by healthcare practitioners for those that are experiencing stress. Yin yoga is a beautiful practice for our nervous system. However, I would invite you to reflect on how this feels as you practice and listen to your body. A lot of emotions can come up and often do come up in a yin practice because we are holding poses for up to 5 minutes. These poses are not extremely challenging poses from an athletic standpoint. However, they can be challenging for the mind, for our thoughts, and for our emotions that may come up. That's why we say yin is an advanced yoga practice. Just like shavasana, at the end of our practice, when we usually lie down, if you've practiced with me before, shavasana is the corpse pose, and it is known as the most challenging pose in yoga because it prepares us for death, and it requires us to hold that stillness. So as you practice today, I invite you to walk along with me, and as always, I am a guide. This is your practice. Please listen to your body and honor what your body needs today. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'm honored to guide you on your yin and restorative yoga practice today. With each practice, I honor the culture and teachings of yoga. So our yoga teaching today, my offering, is in the spirit of the Bhagavad Gita, in chapter 8 and the 2 paths, northern and southern paths. This refers to the path of the sun, which seems to move more northward after the winter solstice and southward after the summer solstice. Dying during the period after the winter solstice, when the sun is moving back north, meant the soul might take the northern path, which leads to immortality. This northern path has come to signify that the soul has been released from karma and need not be reborn. We are grounded today. The intention is to focus on the first chakra, the root chakra, which is located, if you imagine your body, in the groin area or the bum area. As you were to be seated, that is your root chakra. And we imagine the color of red or rusty or reddish earth, very grounding energy. honoring the Anishinaabe peoples, the land, the Algonquin territory from which I am sharing this practice with you today and guiding you today. I'm very grateful to be on this beautiful land, and I honor the Anishinaabe peoples and the Algonquin peoples with the 7 grandfather teachings. For today's practice, we've worked with the 7 grandfather teaching of honesty. Going inward, holding space and stillness with your body, mind, and spirit. What truth can you bring from your body and spirit to your mind? What can you accept that your body and spirit may already know? Honoring my culture as an Oneida woman, the Haudenosaunee Thanksgiving Address. I lead my life with gratitude, and I'm very grateful for the teaching of the Thanksgiving Address, and I'm honored to share that teaching with each of our yoga journaling workshops. So for today, honoring the practice of yin, rest and restoration, honoring our root chakra, honoring the sun and its path and the winter solstice, and honoring the Anishinaabe teachings of honesty. To align with that, I will read from the Thanksgiving Address and give thanks to the Earth Mother. The Earth Mother. We are all thankful to our Mother, the Earth, for she gives us all that we need for life. She supports our feet as we walk upon her. It gives us joy that she continues to care for us as she has from the beginning of time. To our Mother, we send greetings and thanks. Now our minds are one. I invite you to set an intention today for your practice, for this beautiful yin and restorative yoga practice, focusing on your energy and grounding. This is my invitation to you to support your intention. What becomes possible when I allow myself and my business to exhale, soften, and truly rest? With that intention, let us move into our physical practice. Honoring the winter and the season that we're in, I invite you to begin in Shavasana, in corpse pose. I always work with blocks. If you've practiced with me before, you may recognize that. You may have a set of blocks yourself. Dollarama will sell them sometimes, I think for about $5 each. If you're looking for a pair yourself, you may be able to find them as well on Marketplace. Also, I just wanted to show today with our yin and restorative practice that a beautiful rolled up blanket or shawl or pillow is also a wonderful support in terms of blocks. So, you can roll up a blanket and sit on that instead, whatever works for you. So we will work with some of these props today in this practice. Inviting you to come down into Shavasana, and I will demonstrate lying on your back, on the earth, grounded. I forgot to start the timer, so let's do that so that I can at least honor our time together. And lying in Shavasana, if it feels good for you, spread your feet wide to the corners of the mat. Let your arms come down heavy to the earth. Tuck your shoulder blades up underneath so that your shoulders can rest and you feel supported by the Earth Mother. And if you wish to receive, keep your palms facing the sky. If it feels more comfortable today or more appropriate to ground, turn your palms downward and place them on the earth. I'll invite you to sit, and we will be in this pose for another 4 minutes. If you need to move, please honor your body. Listen to what you need. This is your practice. Following your breath. When you're ready, I'll invite you to roll over on your side. Tuck your knees up to your chest. Perhaps resting on your elbow or your bicep as a pillow or the forearm as you lie on the Earth Mother, connecting with that beautiful grounding energy. And I invite you to roll over to face the mat and coming into a child's pose, which is a restorative pose. Let's support ourselves with this pose today. If you have a blanket, I've rolled up one of these beautiful mini teepee blankets from my personal collection. And in the child's pose, our typical child's pose, if you may recall, try not to block the vision. We come down, I like a wide knee child's pose, so knees can come wide to the mat or knees can stay together. Big toes come to touch. Forehead comes down to the mat or to a block, blanket, or pillow. in the supported child's pose. If you have a bolster, you may have some beautiful props at home. That's a great option. If you don't have a bolster, which I do not, I use blankets. So you can roll up some blankets or work with some cushions or pillows that you have and support your chest and your forehead. Just the difference between yin and restorative is that we prop our body up so that you're supported not only by the Earth Mother, you're also supported by these blankets, pillows, whatever is propping you up. Letting go. Whatever doesn't serve you. Connecting, grounding with the earth energy, your root chakra, strong in the earth mother energy. And we'll be here for another 4 to 5 minutes. Settle in and support your body, mind, and spirit with whatever you need for your practice. Noticing any thoughts, observing them with curiosity and letting them go. This is the practice of observance. emotions that come up to be released. I'll invite you to come very gently and slowly out of the pose in yin, because we hold the poses for several minutes, 4 to 5 minutes. We're really working on the fascia, that amazing web layer that's woven and connected to all of our body, connected to our nervous system and many of our systems. And in this, we want to move slowly, coming out of the pose. So coming out of your pose, from child's pose, I'd invite you to roll over on your back and come into a reclined butterfly pose. So feet are together, soles of the feet together, knees apart, wide, back rooted on the earth. And if you'd like, you can support each of your knees with a pillow, a blanket, a shawl, or a block if you have your blocks. And just allow yourself to be held in reclined butterfly. If you love how it feels to hold that pose without the supports, honor your body. Noticing the weight behind your head, the big empty space between your shoulder blades, and all the space you have with the earth. Supported hips on the earth mother, supported. You are held. Be in this pose for another 3 to 4 minutes. Please honor what your body needs. noticing how it feels to receive. Noticing your breath. Allowing your thoughts to come and go. And honoring any emotions that present. Gently take your hands and bring your knees together so that your feet are planted on the earth. And roll over on your right side, placing your right arm underneath your head for support, or a pillow if that feels more comfortable, whatever props you might have around you. Tuck your knees up tight toward your chest, coming into a fetal pose on the right-hand side, signifying rebirth, renewed energy. As you hold this pose in the fetus position, imagine the womb, the darkness, like the winter, a time to prepare. We'll hold this pose for the next 4 to 5 minutes. Honor your body. Release the thoughts. Release the emotion. as you prepare to move from this womb pose, the fetal pose, imagining the energy of your own rebirth emerging, restored, re-energized, ready. From the fetal pose, I'll invite you to roll all the way over onto your stomach for a broken wing pose. This is a healing pose, and we'll be stretching out fully on the blanket, on the mat, whatever you're practicing on. Forehead down to the mat. We'll begin with the right hand side. Reach your right arm out to the side. Press your left palm at about your shoulder height into the earth for support. And press your body up and over, lifting your left foot up and over your right leg, which is extended on the earth. If you can reach the earth with your head at this point, this may be comfortable for you. I find it's more comfortable to tuck one knee up. Here we are. What we're working on is stretching, supporting the shoulder. The right shoulder is getting a good stretch. You may want to leave your palms supporting you here on the earth, if that feels best for you. You may also want to place a pillow or a block under your head if that feels better. I always feel that's a little better, just the way that my shoulders are created. And if it feels good for you, lift your left palm to the sky and come into a half bind, which is just bringing your arm behind you, placing it on your hip, laying the back of your hand on your hip. Left sole of your foot is supporting you, pressed into the earth. This is broken wing, and we'll hold this pose on the right hand side for the next 3.5 minutes. your body hold tension or emotion in the shoulder, you may notice that in this pose. Please honor your body. We'll be in this pose for about another minute. If that feels good for you, wonderful. If you're ready to come out, that's okay too. I will guide you out of the pose when it's time. If you'd like to come out early, please come out in reverse from how we entered into the pose. Gently come out of this pose. If you have done the half bind with your hand behind your back on your hip, please reach your left arm to the sky and place it on the earth for support, your palm once again. Slowly and gently return to your stomach, bringing your left leg and foot up and back down to the earth, and rolling onto your stomach or chest, which relieves any pressure or tension that you might have noticed through stretching the right shoulder. And we have two sides. We will honor our left side with the same pose, broken wing, on our left shoulder. If this pose did not feel great for you, I invite you to take any pose that feels comfortable for you in a restorative pose to hold and feel safe and supported and loved. You may enjoy child's pose or shavasana if you'd like to return to that, or fetal pose, any of the poses that we've done today, or a pose of your choice. For those of you that would like to join me in broken wing, we'll do that on the left-hand side. Stretching your feet long ways on the mat. Coming down, if you prefer a pillow, I prefer to have a little pillow. Coming down with facing the right side, reaching the left arm, which I'll just move these. Stretching the left arm out. Pressing the right palm, the opposite palm into the earth, just about under your shoulder. As we press through that right palm, you twist and come onto the left side, pressing the right sole of your foot into the earth. I like to tuck my opposite knee, so that would be my left knee, coming up, the bottom knee, coming up toward the chest. If you'd like to stay here, this is a wonderful way to hold the pose. If you would like, I'm probably covering the mic. Hopefully you heard me. If you would like to come into a half bind, lift your right palm to the sky and allow it to rest back of your palm, back of your hand on your hip or glute, wherever that may rest. Pressing the right sole of your foot into the earth and really feeling that stretch through the left shoulder. Let's hold this for 3.5 minutes. you have gone into a half bind with your right arm on your hip, lift your right palm to the sky and return that to the earth, supporting you. Just place it under your shoulder and press it into the earth. And bring your leg back, returning, your right leg returning to the earth. So now you are facing your mat, lying on your stomach and your chest, and pressing in to the earth with your palms, coming up to tabletop on your knees and palms. Tuck your toes underneath. We'll come into one downward dog today for a very slow transition. So pressing your hips to the sky, intending your heels to the earth. Pressing through the palms for support. Lift your right foot to the sky. Draw your knee into your chest and bring that knee behind your right wrist. Your right knee behind your right wrist. Shimmy, shimmy the left leg all the way back. Oops, knocking over the water bottle. That happens a lot. This is a pigeon pose. And so you can stay upright like this in the pigeon pose if you wish. I would invite you for a restorative pose because we will hold this pose for 3 minutes on each side, which can feel like a long time. So I'll invite you to bring a cushion, pillow, blanket under your forehead. Place your palms on the earth. If that feels good for you. If you'd like to come all the way down to the earth, please do whatever honors your body. If you carry emotion in your hips, which a lot of us do, we carry trauma and a lot of emotions in our hips, you may feel a lot here. This may feel intense. If it feels like too much, I invite you to come into a 1990 pose. So, sitting upright, right knee, right shin is in line with the short edge of the mat, left knee comes into the other 90-degree angle and seated. And you can support your hip if that's off the earth. That feels good for you. You can also come down into a restorative pose on your bolster, blanket or pillow. Tuck that under your chest and just rest. That feels supportive and restorative to you. And let's stay in pigeon pose on the right hand side or 1990 on the right for the next 2.5 minutes. and letting them go, observing them with curiosity, honoring any emotions that are ready to be released from the body. Focus on your breath. If you've come into a restorative position with pigeon or 90-90, I invite you to gently press your palms into the earth and return upward. And draw your knee back in. So it's probably best if I demonstrate this for this purpose. But let's gently pull without any tension, drawing your knee back into a tabletop position. So shimmying that left leg back. Knees on the earth, palms on the earth. And we'll come in to pigeon pose on the left-hand side or 90-90, whatever you prefer. If you'd like to come into 90-90, simply draw your left knee to your left wrist and pivot that left ankle out to the long edge of the mat and shimmy that right foot back, shimmy, shimmy. Stretching through the hips. Again, you can stay in this extended pose, pardon me, or you can come forward. Oh, we said 90-90 and I went right into pigeon pose. So that's pigeon. And if you'd like 90-90, that left knee to the left wrist, yes. And we come down on our left hip and we draw the right knee up toward the left heel. Again, soles of your feet are flat, knees are in a 90-degree position, and I'll invite you to hold that for the next 2.5 minutes. About another 30 seconds in pigeon pose before we move into our final resting pose. Honoring any emotions, noticing with curiosity what is coming up for you. And if you've gone into a restorative or a pigeon pose with your forehead on the mat, I invite you to press your palms into the mat and press your torso upward. Shimmy your right foot, which is the elongated foot, back to center and come back up into a seated position, just reconnecting with your body for a moment. That can be a lot of tension in hip flexors, and in yin, as we hold the pose for a long time, it can feel intense. And I'll invite you to come into Shavasana for your final resting pose as we began our practice together today. Lying on the mat, feet wide to the corners of the mat, shoulder blades tucked underneath for support. If you would like to receive the beautiful energy from the cosmos, palms are up. If you'd like to feel grounded with the Earth Mother and her energy, palms down. As you rest in Shavasana and we close our practice, we'll be closing with a sound bath today. As you return to this space on slowly, gently wiggling your toes and your fingertips. Maybe rolling your ankles and rolling your wrists. I invite you to tilt your head slowly from left to right and right to left. Rolling over, coming into a fetal pose once again. After death, there is always rebirth. Every end brings a new beginning. From fetal pose, please join me in a seated position to close our practice together. Hands at your heart, gazing at your middle finger. The light in me sees, honors, and acknowledges the light in you. Namaste. Thank you for joining me for your yin and restorative practice today. We'll now move into our journaling and journal prompts portion of the workshop. I invite you to sit in self-reflection with the lens of compassion. Compassion for yourself and compassion for your business. Death and rebirth. Cycles, the medicine wheel, karma. Our first prompt, and I'll give 2 minutes for writing, 2 minutes of silence. I'll hold the space for you here to write whatever comes to mind. The first prompt, what can I release with compassion and love? How does this create space for me to receive? What can I release with compassion and love? And how does this create space for me to receive? 2 minutes. Prompt number 2. Who holds me with compassion and love? Where can I hold my business with compassion and love? Who holds me with compassion and love? Where can I hold my business with compassion and love? 2 minutes. Prompt number 3. What grounds me and opens my heart to hold myself and my business with honesty? What grounds me and opens my heart to hold myself and my business with honesty? Take the next 2 minutes with yourself. Fourth prompt and final prompt of our workshop together today. When I feel held, loved, and supported, I notice my business begin to. When I feel held, loved, and supported, I notice my business begin to. 2 minutes with your thoughts. In closing and in gratitude, we talked today about the yogic teaching from the Bhagavad Gita of the northern and southern paths. When I focus on what brings me joy, what naturally falls away? Honoring our purpose in this life, our gifts, and what brings us joy supports our journeys and living the good life. Honoring the Anishinaabe 7 grandfather teachings and the teaching of honesty. A quote from the Yurok tribe of northwestern California. When you die, you will be spoken of as those in the sky, like the stars. A Yurok teaching reminds us that when we leave this world, we continue on as those in the sky, like the stars that still offer light. This teaching invites us to consider how our work, our relationships, and our gifts might continue shining long after we are gone. Honoring the Haudenosaunee Thanksgiving address and our Earth Mother. Within the Haudenosaunee Thanksgiving address, also known as the words that come before all else, the Earth Mother holds a central place. We offer gratitude for Mother Earth as the first caregiver, the one who sustains all beings with nourishment, medicines, waters, plants, and renewal. The Earth Mother teaching reminds us that everything we receive in life and in our work is rooted in relationship. That we are never creating, leading, or surviving alone. We are held by a living, breathing world that has always supported us. Thank you again for joining me for your practice this month. I hope that you've enjoyed your yin and restorative practice today, and I look forward to practicing with you again soon. Namaste.